Shalom, shalom. Israel is your brother Dagobah with a quick lesson. Right through the spirit. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, Bashim Al Hakkadash. Yahweh is the most high God, and Yahweh Shai is who the world innately calls Jesus Christ. And I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who been ruled well to the spirit, teaching his word and believing his word to the best of their ability. Lord, when the most high continue to put in his spirit to endure. Mighty Shalom to the hopeful elect. Scatter four corners of the earth in and out of congregations, teaching his word and believing his word to the best of their ability. Lord, one of the Most High, put in their spirit to endure. And Lord, one of the Most High, have mercy for the other brothers and sisters that's not in faith. You know, another day just to, strive for that crown, strive, you know, uh, to even be worthy in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You see the picture, son, go get my children. This is motivation, hoping on that day that I get to see Yahweh Shai coming to get us. But through the spirit, Lord willing, we can bring out something. You know what I'm saying? But I see the OG over here, I guess, got a question.
Yo, Kabar, hold on. Yo, I need your help, man.
Uh-huh.
Yo, explain, can you explain Romans 9 and 13? I'm trying
Uh,
to get that.
Romans chapter 9, verse 13. Well, this is kind of very plain. When you read it, it's very plain. It says, as it is, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. And this is quoted in Malachi. We will have to understand who's Jacob and who's Esau. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you would jump all the way back to Genesis, the 25th chapter, right? We'll try to do this real quick because I know we got like 10 minutes, right? So the 25th chapter, and we're going to go down to like the 22nd verse, right? Because it was predestined, the roles of Esau and Jacob. But verse 22, it says, and the children struggled together within her and said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire Yahweh Shem Shai. And Yahweh said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separate from thy bowels, and one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elders shall serve the young. So this is already telling of what the future is gonna be of, right? It's gonna consist of two nations, right? They're gonna be separate from their bowels, so they're gonna be two different manner of men, right? And one is gonna be stronger than the other. And we would have to figure out who would that be, but of course it would be Jacob, right? When we look at society now, who is the astonishment in society? Who would you say in every sport? Who would be astonishment? Yeah, and they will look like the most superior when it comes to physical attribute. And then it said the elder shall serve the young. And when we go down, it's it says in verse 25, the first came out red. So the first one was Esau, right? Because verse 26, and after came out his brother, and his hand took out his heel, right? The first one that came out was hairy all over, and they called his name Esau. So Esau came first, and he's supposed to serve his brother, right? But this doesn't show the Lord hate him anything, but we just have to go back into history because when we go into the New Testament, this is Paul reference something in the Old Testament, right? Because in the time of Paul, in the time of Yahushua, in the time of any of the apostles, they wasn't reading the New Testament. They were reading the Old Testament, right? So just to deal with just Jacob, just in, uh, you know, this goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning of the morning, Deuteronomy 7 and 6, right? It says, for thou art a holy people unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, thy power. Yahweh, thy power, have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Right? Holy means Quadash, right? It means set apart. So you go to the blue letter, right? We just going to try to get spontaneous with this, make love to the scriptures, right? Because it's exciting to get deep in there, right? So We never heard that a people is called holy. Because when you go to Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1, you see that Moses is speaking to Israel, right? So this is directed towards Israel, right? So you want to get verses that show holy again, right? So Deuteronomy 14 and 2, it says, "For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy power, and Yahweh have chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all nations that are upon the face of the earth." When we go in the gospel, you'll see Yahweh say, I have chosen you, you have not chosen me, right? Because he's speaking to Israel. When we go to the first verse of Deuteronomy 14, 14 and 1, this is Moses speaking to Israel, right? And again, you got Deuteronomy 28 and 9, right? You got Exodus 19, 5 and 6. We got Psalms 50 and 5, where he says, "Gather my saints." And who is the saint? Israel. Jeremiah 2 and 3. Israel was holiness unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Right? The Lord is always dealing with Israel. We jump to Amos chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. He says, "Hear this word that Yahweh have spoken against you, O children of Israel, and against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, You only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you of all your iniquities." Right? We sinned against the Most High, which is transgress, right? So this is just showing a different attribute because when we went to Egypt, we left Egypt, we murmured, we cleaved to the other gods, but other nations was already following other gods, right? So Israel, why are they so loved? It's because the Lord is dealing with them, right? The Lord brought Yahweh Shai to die for them. Isaiah the 53rd chapter, right? You got Moses in the 18th chapter telling Israel, the Lord is going to raise up a prophet that you should hear, right? And you go to the Transfiguration in Matthew the 17th chapter, verse 1 to 5, you find out that that is Yahushua, right? Now, to continue on, because we want to get a little bit into Esau. So we just going to hop into a few verses and then probably go to work, go back to work. Um, when you read uh, Obadiah, hold on, let's see. I want to get, so this is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 10. It says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever." Right? It's reasons why the Lord hate him. Hate just means to love less. And if you was to see the mindset of Esau, he has the same mindset of the serpent, right? Deception, lying, and killing, which is the same as Cain. He killed his brother. And he is the murderer since the beginning. That same serpent is in Esau, right? So shame went upon, well, what did Esau? He wanted to try to kill Jacob. That same spirit is on them again now because that what do Esau, the so-called white man and woman, they want to kill the so-called Jacobites, but really the Israelites of today, right? But this is why the scriptures is a mystery because we wouldn't really understand that Esau is the so-called white man, right? We wouldn't understand that Jacob is the forefather of the black Latinos and natives, right? This is a mystery, right? And the Lord has to give it to the certain prophets to reveal these secrets and line them up, right? It said, verse 11, "In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners enter into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced of the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of their distress." And Esau was watching us getting overtaken by the Babylonians and didn't do nothing. Then when the Babylonians left, they went to our country and pillaging it. Right? Whoever they found, they either, of course, they probably ravished the women because most likely brothers was probably fucking the women, and then they took the refugees and took them to Babylon. Right? So hell yeah, when you go to I think it's Sirach 51, the Lord said there's three things he hate, and one of them don't deserve to be a nation, and it's the Edomites, right? So just to close out, you go to Malachi, I think it's the first chapter. Yeah, this is Malachi chapter 1, verse 1. The burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith Yahweh. Yet ye say, wherein has thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith Yahweh? Yet I loved Jacob and hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragon of the wilderness, right? The Lord hate Esau, right? But it's a reason why he hate him, right? Because of his wickedness. Let alone you got to see when we go back to Genesis, when you read chapter 25 later on in the chapter, when David is cooking pottage, this man gave up his birthright, right? Ain't nobody more profane than him. He didn't even care for his descendants because the birthright is all about the descendants. Because if you die, everything you have goes to descendants, descendants. But this nigga, I'm gonna call him a nigga, he didn't care for his descendants. He said, man, what I'm gonna do with a birthright? And I'm hungry. I'm about to die. So he'd rather give up his birthright for his descendants just to eat some food. He's selfish, let alone he's prideful, right? And he moves off of his impulse of anger because look how he moved on Jacob, trying to kill him, but not trying to tell his father, you know what? I really sold my birthright for pottage, but want to say, oh, my brother did some craftiness. Esau always want to cry, but don't want to take accountability, right? But not to go too crazy. Um, it's just for Romans 9 and 13, we didn't really go too crazy to show why the Lord loved Israel, right? But we seen that the Lord chose them, that they peculiar above all people on the earth. I kind of did quote that, in the gospel, Yahweh Shai said, you didn't choose me, I have chosen you out of the world, right? So that goes direct to show you that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai chose Israel, right? And I'm gonna just get this last one, and then we'll just slide out, before Jimmy Neutron get upset that we took too damn long. So this 147, this is Psalms 147, verse 19 to 20. It says, He showeth his word unto Jacob, and his statutes and his judgment unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgment, they have not known them. Right? So the Lord only is dealing with Israel. He only gave them his law, statutes, and commandments, gave that nation, his dark sayings, his parables, and his prophecies. We have the blueprint. No other nations. When you go into Second Ezra, the third chapter, the last three verses, he tell you that nobody kept the precepts. Really, precept just mean law, right? Because when you say precept upon precept, it means law here, law there, line upon line, basically reading a precept line upon line, here a little, there a little, because it's in five books. So you will be hopping because some of the law line up with each other, right? So you will go precept upon precept when it comes to the law, let alone since the law is a system that you use to read the scriptures, you will follow the same system pattern when it comes to finding, breaking down the mysteries in the scriptures, right? The context, the breakdown, dealing with the two-thirds, dealing with who is Yahweh Shai for, who is the Edomites, who is the son of perdition, right? What is the falling away, right? But Lord willing, that was edifying, straight to the point. How do you feel, OG? Do you feel like you understand a little bit about Romans 9 and 13? You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Lord willing, I can do another video and add some more flavor on to even more why the Lord hate Esau.
that was
So,
good. I understand.
okay. So other than that, man, family, till next time, Yahweh speed, Yahweh Shemar Shai, brother. Shalom.
Hey, look at it.